Welcome back SQL enthusiasts. I'm Himwan and this is the last part of our StarAgile's exclusive SQL learning series. In this video, we'll be discussing about the joins and unions. In this whole series, we have covered the topics from the basic to the intermediate, and if you have missed any of the previous videos, kindly click on the link above. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. In this video, we'll be discussing about the joins and unions. So till now, what and all the commands we have learned, everything are related to the SQL, like how to create a table and how to modify the table over there. And once after you modify any tables over there, and then how to insert the data into a table. And once after the insertion is completed, then how to fetch the data out from a table. All this DDL, DML and DQL, all these commands we have covered in the previous videos. Now the topic what we are covering here is joins and unions, which is like an intermediate level topic we can say. Okay, so to learn this joins over there, we'll use a separate data over there and we'll work on those particular joins and how many different type of joins we have and how we can use this joins over there. So mainly what is meant by joins over here means combining of multiple tables, guys. Okay, so when you look into the data from a single table over there, it will show the data, represent the data only from one single table. But if not like that, I want to look into the data from multiple tables together means, then we will be using this joins at this particular position, guys. Okay, so to perform this joins, we'll use a separate data which we'll be also sharing that in the description. You can download it from there. Okay, so and also the tool which we are using a tool which is called as a MySQL workbench. So within this, we'll be working on this joins, guys. So now once after you open this MySQL workbench, login. Once after you log in, then open SQL script. So the file what I'll be opening and showing over here, the same file we'll be sharing with you people also. Okay, so open SQL script, then joins, open. Okay, so this is the particular file or the data what we are using over here, and to work on this joins also we'll create a separate database, guys. Okay, so separate database we'll create and we'll execute these commands in this particular workbench, and if required we'll execute them in this command line client also. Okay, so now I'll open a new file first. I'll execute or first I'll create a database. So for what? To execute or to practice this particular joins over here, we are creating a database. Within this we'll create the tables and then we'll work on those joins. So create database joins underscore practice semicolon, control enter. Next, use joins underscore practice semicolon, control enter. So now a database is created and we are using that particular database, and if you want to see that particular database within your schemas, just refresh your schema and you can see that joins underscore practice, right? So now the database is created. Now we'll load this particular tables within this database. So I'll open this joins underscore data. I'll just click on this thunder. Once after I click on this thunder, and if I refresh my schemas here now I can see two different tables here now. Okay, now before we jump into this commands over there, first we'll try to understand what are the different type of joins we have in SQL, guys. So talking about the joins here, joins. So total how many different type of joins we have here are inner join, left join, right join, cross join, self join, and inner join. Okay, so total there are 6 type of joins over here, which are most commonly used joins case. Okay, so what is this joins? What this joins will do? So joins are mainly used to combine the data from different tables. Okay, and what inner join, how the performance of this inner join works over here is, when I perform an inner join on 2 different tables, let's say I have a left one table and right one table. So inner join will give you only the common data from both the tables case. Okay, so common data means the data which is matching between both the tables, that is the only data which has been provided when you perform an inner join. So what is the data? Only the matching data. Next, left join. So what left join will do over here means, when I am combining 2 different tables, when I am joining 2 different tables over here, left join will fetch, or it will print the complete data from the left table and only the common data from the right table case. Next one is right join. Next, simply vice versa. So left table and the right table, what right join will do? It will fetch, or it will print the complete data from the right table and only the common data from the left table over here. So this is how the data is been fetched over here when you are using an inner join, left join, or right join. So all the rest of the further joins, we'll see first we'll start executing this command. So how this inner join need to be performed, how the data will be fetched from the tables over there. First we'll try to understand it. And before we write any of the command, syntax. Syntax is important for any of the commands over here. So what is the syntax you need to follow to write and join over here means? So syntax, select star from table 1, join table 2 on table 1 column equal to table 2 column. Okay, so this is the basic syntax what you need to follow to create any of this particular joins case. Okay, so to write a join, select star from. So what select? Select is what command it is? It's a print statement. So to print any of the data from any tables over there, we'll be using this select command over there. Next, star, what does the star states over here? Star means fetching all the data, means all the columns and records from the tables over there. So what and all the columns which are required to. Okay, it's not like the complete data. Based on the command over there, what and all the columns it can able to print from this tables over there, it will fetch the complete required columns. That is what the star states over here. So from table 1 join. So what kind of a join you are performing, depending on that you can specify the join over here. Either it can be an inner, left, right join, cross join, self join, or one more any other different type of joins we have. Okay, so now, okay, so here it's not an inner join, I already mentioned it initially. So it's a full join case. Okay, it's not an inner is already mentioned first, right? Inner join, left join, right, cross, self join, and the full join over here. Okay, so now this is the syntax what we are following over here, right? So now in this particular syntax over there, we'll try to execute the commands and we'll look into the data how it is printing. So what is meant by the common data over here, we'll try to understand it. Okay, so we'll do this in the command line client. Okay, so in the workbench it will show the data little less. So we'll do it in the command line client so that the output can be shown little more precisely or more clearly over here. So MySQL command line client. So first the password need to be entered. What is the password you created when you are installing this MySQL server and the workbench? So when you are installing the server and the workbench, at the same time this command line client will also be installed in your laptop's case. No need to again separately install anything. It will be already installed when you are installing those two softwares. Okay. So now first thing what we need to do here, anywhere, either it's a command line client or else a workbench, what is the first thing? You need to select the database. So use joins underscore, what is the database name we created? So it's joins underscore practice. Okay, so now the database has been selected. Now we'll check with the tables. So what are the tables we created within this database are departments and employees case. So first I will look into the data of the departments. Select star from departments. So what is the data I have under the departments over here? So I have department ID and the department name. So department ID 1 HR, department ID 2 IT, department ID 3 finance, and department ID 4 as marketing. Now next we'll look into the data what you have in this employees table. Select star from employees semicolon enter. Okay, so now what is the data we have under the employees over here is basically the employee ID we have, employee name we have, and the department ID and the salary. Okay, now once you look into this data over here, based on this data, now the client or the management, they are asking me to give me the details of the employees, and also along with that I need to also provide the data of under which department that particular employee is working. Okay, so that is the data what a client is asking me. Okay, so what data? Employees details, along with that the employees department also, in which department that employee is working, that department name also they are required. Okay, so now if I only look into the departments, I don't have the employees data in that, right? Now if I only look into the employees table over there, do I have any department names in these employees? No, we don't have any department names over here, just only the department ID we have, right? So this is the point where we need to combine the tables. Okay, so why it is required to combine different tables over there here is to see the matching data or any the such required data from this together. Okay, so now when you look into this columns over there or this particular tables, the first and most important thing we need to understand whenever you are performing the joins is there any particular column in a table which is having the matching data with the data in the another table. Okay, so the columns, so one particular column in a table need to have a matching data with another table, one column over there. Okay, so now if you observe this data, which column is having the matching data between both the tables? Department ID column. See, in the departments 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the department IDs. Now in the employees also we have a third column which is a department underscore ID, right? So now in department ID is giving 1, 2, 2, 2 like this. So by this I can understand that, okay, so this department ID 1, what is department ID 1? If I go and check with the departments table, then I can see this is a HR. And if I check with this department ID 2, if I go and check with the departments, then I can understand this is a IT department, but not separately. So the client is asking me to give me the data together, not separately over there. And also what is the data it is required for the client? They are asking me to give me only the people or only the employees who are having any department IDs and their department names. That's it. Okay, so what are the department IDs we have? 1 and 2. And how many people are having this department IDs? Just only the first 4 people. When you look into this data clearly, so the last 2 people, so employee ID 105 and 106, they are not having any department IDs. So I don't want that such data. Along with that, from the departments table, I want to fetch only the departments which are being used in the employees. Okay, what are the department IDs which are used? Department ID 1 and 2. I don't need the department ID 3 and department ID 4 because none of the employee in this employees table is having department ID as 3 or 4, right? So this is called as the common data what I want. What is the common data or what is the matching data I want? I want the employees details of the people who are only having the department IDs, and the departments table only the data of the department IDs which are used by the employees. Okay, only the common data. I don't want the details from the departments which are not registered or specified for any of the employee, and also from the employees I don't want any details from the employees who doesn't have any department ID. Okay, so this is the data what I want, which is common or matching data. Okay, and how you can understand this matching data? I'll compare this department ID from the employees and also the department ID from the departments over here. Okay, so now how to write this command? So as we already seen the syntax over here, select star from table 1 join table 2 on T1 column and table 2 column. So select star from, so what is the first column? I'll take the first column as employees. So not column, first table as employees inner join. So first join what you are performing over here is inner join over here. Next, one more table with which you want to join departments. Departments over here. Next, the common column condition on from which table or which column from which table you need to specify it clearly, guys. Okay, so from the employees dot department underscore ID equal to departments dot department underscore ID. So these are the two columns. I am making a common column condition for this join what I am writing. Okay, so accordingly I'll write it in this command line client. Select star from employees inner join departments on. So from here on, okay, we need to mention on and then we need to write the common column condition. So next, from the employees dot department underscore ID equal to departments dot so here also department underscore ID semicolon, enter. See, now when you look into this data over here, see what is the data it is providing. So the from the employees only 101, 102, 103 and 104. Okay, so department IDs are 1, 2, 2 over here. Next, from the departments, what is the data it is printing? Only department ID 1 and also only 2. Okay, so from this particular data, if I want only that specific columns like the employee ID, employee name and department name, under which department they are working. If I am required with only this particular data over there, instead of star, simply I will mention the columns what I am required with. So I can write select employee underscore ID comma employee underscore name, next department underscore name from employees inner join departments on employees dot department underscore ID equal to departments dot department underscore ID semicolon enter. See, so what is the data which is required for the client? I exactly printed the same. So the employee name, under which department they are working. So Alice is working under HR department, Bob is working from the IT department, Charlie is working from the IT, and even the David is also working from the IT department. So how I am able to print this? By using the joins. Okay, so employees is a separate table, departments is a separate table, but together how we are able to show this data over there? By using joins and combining those two tables over here. Okay, so this is how inner join will work is. So what inner join is doing basically, it is printing only the common or the matching data over there. So matching data means here department ID 1 and department ID 1, this is matching. HR it is printing over here. So here department ID 2 and department ID 2, IT it is printing. So department ID 2 and all the 2. So you don't have any other person who is having department ID as 3, right? So there is no person in the employee who is having department ID as 3. So that is why 3 and 4 is not printing. And even from the employees, people who doesn't have any department IDs. So see, this 105 and 106, that data I am not able to see away. Only from 101 to 104 I have the data. Okay, so this is how the data is printed with the inner join, which is matching or common data from both the tables, guys. So now as I specified here, employee ID, employee name and department name. Okay, well and good, fine, it is printing the data for me. Now along with this, I also want to print the department ID over here. Okay, so now if I write select employee underscore ID, next employee underscore name, next department underscore name, next department underscore ID. So I am mentioning department underscore ID from employees inner join departments on employees dot department underscore ID equal to departments dot department underscore ID. Okay, yes, now I executed this command, everything is fine, but there is a problem with me. Okay, so there is a problem with this particular command over here. So error 1052. So what is the mistake it is showing over there? Column department underscore ID in the field list is ambiguous. What is meant by this ambiguous here means this particular SQL is in a confusion state. It is unable to understand from which table it should print this department ID. Okay, so now look into this data again. So this departments and employees. Okay, so you have this department ID in the departments table, and also you have this department ID in the employees table also, in both the tables here. So now if I ask you, give me only one single column. Okay, print only the one single column means from which table you will print. See, even we'll get confused over there from which table I want the single column over there. So obviously SQL will also be in a confusion state over there. It cannot understand from which table it should print this department ID. Okay, so that is called as an ambiguous state, guys. Okay, so to overcome this particular error over here, we need to specifically mention from which table you want this department underscore ID. Okay, either it's from the departments table or either it's from the employees table over here. Okay, so now the same command, what I need to do, simply when I am specifying this department underscore ID, I need to also mention the table name. Okay, so the same command, so I'll add it here. So now within this, see the same command I am adding, select employee underscore ID, employee name, department ID, everything is the same. Something is missing here. Okay, so this is the command. Now what I mentioned, when you want a particular column from a particular table over here, we need to specify the table name before to the columns. So this department ID is the one which is giving me a trouble or problem with this command. So now I'll mention employee dot department underscore ID. So now control enter. Okay, so something is wrong. Employees, control enter. See, now we got the department ID. So from where it is printing this department ID? It is printing this department ID from the employees table. So now the same command, even if I copy and paste it into this command line client and show you, now this command will work. So paste anyway, enter. See, now you got the data. Okay, so this is how the columns which are having the same name within this, between the tables over there, you need to specify the table names before to the columns, guys. Okay, so now, okay, so one column it's fine, sir, you just directly mentioned the table name over there. What if there are multiple columns? Okay, so what if there are multiple columns where I need to specify the table name before to the columns? Then how? So should I write the table name, full complete table name for all the columns? No, it's not required for that. Even here we have a shortcut, guys. Okay, so here employees dot department underscore ID is the one which I mentioned, right? So you don't need to write employees as a table name every time. Okay, if you have multiple tables for which you need to, multiple columns for which you need to specify the table name is, you don't need to, it's not required to specify the complete full length of the table name every time. So how you can rectify or how you can overcome this particular problem is, there is a small trick for us. Okay, so here the command what you are writing here, mainly the tables. What are the tables you are specifying? So previously, if you remember, we used to give alias names for the derived columns, right? Whatever the columns you are printing over there, we used to give alias names over there. The same way here for the tables also we can give the alias names. Okay, so simply what I can write is select, so let's say star from employees as E, inner join departments as D. See, I am just giving a shortcut name. So whatever the data I have in this employees, I am identifying it under a name called as E in this particular select command. So next, whatever the data I have in this departments, I am identifying it under a name called as D in this particular select command over there. So E consists of whatever the data I have in this employees, D consists of whatever the data I have in this departments. Okay, then instead of star, let's say when I'm mentioning the columns, specific columns over there, then I can directly mention the shortcut. Okay, how we can write it is, we'll write the command here and we'll see. Select. So before I specify what and all the columns I want, first I'll write the condition. Okay, so from employees as E, inner join departments as D on. So here for the columns also, E dot sorry, it is department underscore ID equal to E dot, so not E dot, it's just D dot, right? So employees table department ID equal to departments table department ID column. So D dot department underscore ID. So now I'll specify all the columns what and all I am required with. So select employee underscore ID. So the columns for which are having the unique names over there, it's not required for the table name need to be specified, guys. Directly you can mention the column names here. So for the columns which are having duplicate names, means the same name which are having between the tables over there, for those type of columns you need to specify the table name before. Okay, so employee underscore ID, employee underscore name, next department underscore name, okay. So here instead of specifying the complete table name, what I'll do, I'll just mention E dot department underscore ID. Okay, so here see this one here, instead of specifying the complete table name over here, what I am doing, I am just simply giving a shortcut name. So how it will identify what is this E over there, means we clearly mentioned employees as E, departments as D. Within this select command, it can understand what is this E, because E is the alias name for the employees, D is the alias name for the departments. Now when I execute this command, you will see the same data out. Okay, so this is how the joins will work, and specifically the inner join. Okay, so what are the columns you are required, mention the column names. Okay, from which tables you want and which join you want to perform, mention the join over here. And even here when you are specifying inner join, if you don't mention anything for this inner, still it will print the same, guys. Means if you mention only join over there, by default how it will work as an inner join over here. So these are the points which you need to note down or you need to keep in mind. Okay, so you will get some interview question like, okay, so if I don't specify anything for the join, what kind of a join it will perform? So you need to be in a situation to answer it like it will perform an inner join for you. Okay, so this is how inner join works, guys. Now next join is left join. So what left join will do over here means, first we'll look into the data and we'll see. Okay, so there is the departments table and there is the employees table, right? So now when I specify employees left join departments, okay, so what left join will do, it will print me the complete data from the left table. Okay, it doesn't bother about either that particular record is having any matching data or not, still it will print the complete data from the left. Okay, so from the right table only the common data it will print. Okay, so now if I write select start from employees left join departments, and common column condition is must and should, guys. Okay, so in joins the main thing what you need to do, what you need to understand here is the common column condition. So based on that itself it can understand the matching records. Okay, so on, okay, I'll give the alias names for this. Why to write the complete table name again for the common column condition as E, and for even for the departments I'll give the shortcut name as D. So now in the common column condition I'll just mention E dot department underscore ID equal to D dot department underscore ID semicolon, enter. So now when you observe this data over here, complete data from the left, and how it can understand which is the left and which is the right table means the join, the left join what you are mentioning over there, left side what is the table you mentioned and right side what is the table you mentioned. Depending on that, it will understand which should be the left table and which should be the right table, guys. Okay, so now if you observe this data over here, employee ID 105 and 106, even though if those two records, those two employees doesn't have any department ID, still it is printing the data. See, so means basically what it is doing, complete data from the left table it is printing, okay, and only the common data from the right table. And now the same command, so instead of specifying it as the left, if I mention it as right, what happens if I mention right? Complete data from the right table and only the common data from the left table. Enter. So now when you see, now within this data, is there any employee ID 105 or 106? No, because employees is a left table, but what is the join you are performing over here? Right join. Okay, so right join, what it will do? It will give you the complete data from the right table, which is from the departments. See, even though if this department ID 3 and 4, if it is not referred by any of the employee, but still it is printing the department ID 3 and also the 4 over here. So this is how right join will work is. So inner join will give you the common data from both the tables. Left join will give you the complete data from the left and only the common data from the right table. And next, the right join, it will give you the complete data from the right table and only the common data from the left table over here. So this is how 3 different type of joins are working. Okay, so now the next join. So what is the next join you have? This is a cross join over there, right? What is the next join? Cross join. So basically what cross join will do is, it will make all the combinations which and all are required from both the tables, guys. Let's say, for example, there is a table, left table and there is a right table, guys. In the left I have records like 1, 2 and 3, and in the right table I have records like A, B and C. So now cross join, it will make all the combinations, means one will make a combination with A, one will make a combination with B and one will also make a combination with C. The same way happens or repeats for rest of the records also. 2 will make a combination with A, 2 will make a combination with B, 2 will make a combination with C. Next, 3 with A, 3 with B and also 3 with C. So one record in one table will make all the possible combinations with complete data in another table. Okay, so that is how this cross join will work, guys. Okay, so now execution wise, if I show you this, select, start from employees, cross join, departments. Okay, so for the cross join there is no need of this common column condition. Why? Because anyhow it is making all the combinations, it is printing all the possible combinations data for me, then there is no use of this common column condition. So in the whole joins in the SQL, cross join is the only one particular join for which there is no need of this common column condition. Rest of all the different type of joins, you need to specify the common column condition, guys. Okay, so now if I click on this, enter, see how many records it is printing, total 24. So data, if you see, 4 records in department, 6 records in employees, total 4 into 6, 24 records. See, 101 is making a combination with department ID 4, say 1, 2, 3, 4. So 101 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 102 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 103 with 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, if you see, every other record in the employees is making all the combinations which it can able to perform or it can do with the right table, which is from the departments. Okay, so this is how cross join will work, guys. So cross join will basically, it will print all the possible combinations from both the tables. Okay, so now the next join we have here is inner join. Okay, so what is meant by this inner join? So no, okay, sorry, inner is already completed, self join. Okay, so inner join common data, left join complete data from the left, right join complete data from the right, so cross join complete all the possible combinations with combining of both the tables here. Next, the join what we are discussing now is self join. So what is meant by this self join over here? So basically what is meant by self join means combining the table within the table itself. Okay, so if any such data if you have where you can combine the data within the table itself, there there is a possibility to perform a self join, guys. Okay, so to perform the self join over there, so in these two tables we don't have any such data which is combining within the table itself. So we'll look into the data from the previous commands or from the previous data what we are using, practice data over there, right? In that we have the employees table. So in that you have the such kind of a data where you can perform this inner join. So like if I show you, first I'll be using this practice database, practice. Okay, it is showing it's not available. Okay, it's practice db. Use practice db semicolon enter. Now if I write select star from employees semicolon enter. Okay, so what we have total 280 records in this particular table. Okay, so now out of this complete data, if you keenly observe this data over here, so what we have employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, all the basic details of the employees. Okay, so now understand or observe this columns which is employee ID and the manager ID, guys. Okay, so people are having this manager IDs, right? So now I want to fetch the details of the employees, okay, who are having the manager IDs. Along with that manager ID, I want the first and last name of the manager. But do we have any first and last name of the manager in this table? No, we don't have any such data. But kindly understand the data over here. One person manager ID is some other person's employee ID. Okay, so what I'm saying over here is one person's manager ID is some other person's employee ID. So who is having the manager ID as one here? Alice, right? So who is having the employee ID as 101? Alice. Next, if you see here, this Charlie and Diana. So these are the two people who are having the manager ID as 2. Now who is having the employee ID as 2? Bob. So this Charlie and Diana, these two people are reporting to the Bob. And next, this Bob Smith, he is having the manager ID as 1. Means he is reporting to whom? He is reporting to Alice Johnson over here. Okay, so this is how the data is interlinked over here, guys. Okay, so one person manager ID is some other person's employee ID. So basically what I want to print, so the management is asking me to give me the data in such a way that, so I need to, so they are required with the data in such a way which is like they want the employees names, and also along with that they also want the manager names also. Okay, so the employees names and also to which manager they are reporting, print the manager name along with this together. Okay, means basically in one column employees name you need to print, right? The first name and last name of the employees. Next, continuing over there, I need to print the manager's first and last name, which is the same column, right? So now within the same data, if I want to fetch over there, here I need to make a self join. So I need to combine the data, or I need to make a matching between this data within the table itself. Okay, so like for this how it will work, we'll see. So first we'll try to understand the syntax over here. Okay, what is the data first I am required is the employee underscore ID, employee first name, and also the last name, next employees manager ID, next. Along with this, now I want the manager's first name and also the last name. This is the data what I am required with, guys. Okay, so employee ID, employee's first name and last name, employee's manager ID. Along with this, I also want the manager's first name and last name. How to write this command? We'll try to understand it. Okay, so we'll break it down and we'll try to understand this sequence how it is. So select. Okay, so before I specify what and all the data I am required, first I'll write the condition. Okay, so here later on we'll write what and all the columns we are required. So before that I am writing the condition from. So how many tables are required here? So to perform a join, at least 2 tables are required, guys. But here to perform the self join, which how many tables we are using? Just only 1 table. Even though if you are using only 1 table, we need to use it twice, guys. That is how we can make the self join work. So from employees, so what I will do is I will give an alias as EMP join employees as MGR. Okay, so what I am doing one time. Okay, so first I'll finish the syntax here on EMP dot manager ID equal to MGR dot employee ID. See, now we'll try to understand this command over here. So first what I am doing, a table employees, I am giving an alias name as EMP. So whatever the data I have in this employees will be identified under a name called as EMP. Okay, so one particular virtual table which is there under a name EMP, which consists of the employees table. Okay, right. So now again employees, I am identifying this with another name again, which is called as MGR. So total what we have, total 2 different virtual tables we have within this command, EMP and MGR. And what this EMP and MGR are consisting of, both are consisting of the same data. So EMP consists of employees table itself and MGR also consists of the employees table itself. Okay, now next the comment column condition. This is the main for any of the join, guys. Okay, so on employees manager ID is equal to manager's employee ID over here. Okay, so EMP dot manager ID is equal to MGR dot EMP underscore ID, means one person's manager ID is equal to manager's EMP underscore ID. Okay, so this is the data what we are matching over here. Now I'll mention what and all the data I am required with. So EMP dot EMP underscore ID, next EMP dot first name, next EMP dot last name, next EMP dot manager ID, next MGR. Right, what and all the data I am required for the employees is done. Employees ID, employees first name, employees last name, and next employees manager ID. So these are the 4 columns for the employees I want. Next what I want the managers first and last names. So this data I'll take it from the MGR table. So MGR dot first name and also MGR dot last name. Okay, So now I'll write the command accordingly and we'll see what is the data or how the data has been printing over here. So select. So before I specify what and all the columns I am required, first I'll write the condition from employees as emp join employees as mgr on employees manager id is equal to managers employee id. Okay, so now I'll write select emp dot emp underscore id, next emp dot first underscore name, emp dot last underscore name, next emp dot manager underscore id, next now the manager's data. So mgr dot first underscore name comma mgr dot last underscore name. So now if you observe, this first name is the same data from the employees table itself, but once one column it should print the employee's name, another column it should print it as the manager's name. Okay, so now control enter, something is wrong. Emp dot, what is the column name we have? emp underscore id. Unknown column emp dot emp underscore id. So we'll check with this emp underscore id where we specified. So emp dot emp underscore id, emp dot first name, unknown column emp dot emp underscore id in the field list. Okay, so here we haven't selected the database. Okay, so it cannot identify what is employees. Use practice db semicolon, control enter. Now the same command if I execute, see now it is printing the data for me. Employee ID 2, manager ID as 1, which who is having the manager ID as employee ID as 1? Alice Johnson. Next Charlie Davis and Diana. So these people are having the manager ID as 2. Now who is having the employee ID as 2? Bob. So that is the name it is printing over here. Okay, so this is how you can print the data over there by using a self join, guys. Okay, so here if you are getting confused with what is this first name and first name here, simply you can change the names by giving an alias names. So here you can give first name as employee's first name and emp underscore emp dot last name as employee's last name. Likewise you can simply change the alias names over here, but main thing is we need to understand the concept about how this self join is working. Okay, so this is how self join works over here, guys. So total how many different type of joins we have seen? Inner join, left join, right join, cross join and self join. Now what is the last join what we have here is full join. Okay, how this full join will work? So inner means common data. Okay, so what is full join? Full join means nothing but giving the complete data from both the tables. Okay, if I want the complete data from both the tables, then I can perform this full join. But in MySQL Workbench, we don't have any specific command like full join case. So like how we have a command as inner join, left join or right join, likewise we don't have any such command called as full join. But how we can make this possible in MySQL Workbench is we can use something called as unions. So we have a concept called as this union. So what basically unions will do is it will combine multiple commands data and it will print together, guys. Okay, so now we'll come back to this joins underscore data database itself. Use joins underscore data. Okay, so use database joins underscore data. Oh. Okay, so it's joins underscore practice. Use joins underscore practice, enter. So now we came back to this joins database itself. Now within this we'll see the complete data from the employees and departments case. So select, first I will show the data. So select star from employees, select star from departments. Okay, so these two data together I want to show. Okay, so how we can show this together by using the unions means, so normally first what union will do is it will give you the data from both the tables case. Okay, so let's say for example if I write select employee underscore name from employees union select department underscore name from departments semicolon, enter. So now what it is doing over there, first it is printing the employee names. Next, see Alice, Bob, Charlie, David, Siri and John. Next what it is doing, it is printing the department names HR, IT, finance and marketing. So basically what union will do is it will combine the data from two different commands and it will print it together, guys. So that is what a union can be performed over here. Okay, so now using this particular unions over here, we'll see the complete data from both the tables. But how it is possible over here when there is no such command called as full join means left join and right join together will combine by using the union. So what it will do, what left join will do, it will give you the complete data from the left table. What right join will do, it will give you the complete data from the right table. Simple. So we'll just combine these two by using this unions over here and we'll print the data. So I'll write the command here so that I can show it clearly. Select star from employees as E, left join departments as D on E dot department underscore ID equal to D dot department underscore ID. Okay, so this is a left join, guys. Okay, so now we'll change the database here also. Use joins underscore practice. Okay, so this is a left join. What it is doing, the left join, it is giving the complete data from the left table, right? So now I'll continue. What I'll do, union all I'll use. So we have two types, union and union all. So we'll say the difference also, what is the difference between this union and union all. Now select, so the same command I'll copy and paste it. And instead of mentioning it as a left, I'll mention it as right. Okay, so now looking into this data over here, the output I'll show it in the command line client. See, what basically it is doing over here is, till here if you observe, this is a left join command, guys. Okay, so the complete data from the left table and only the common data from where? From the right table. Next, it is continuing with the right join. Okay, what right join is doing? Complete data from the right table it is printing. Say 1, 2, 2, 2, 3 and also the 4. Right, so it is printing 3 and 4. So this is the data from where? This is the data from the right join, and this is the data from where? 101 to 106. This is from the left join over here. So left join and also the right join combiningly, I can able to see the complete data from the left table and also from the right table. And how we are able to make it possible? By using a union all over here. Okay, now what is the difference? Union and union all. What is the difference between these two? So now instead of union all over here, if I mention only union, and if I execute this command now in the command line client, paste anyway, semicolon and enter. So now see the difference, guys. Okay, what is the main difference between this union and union all is, union all will print the duplicates again. Okay, union all will print the duplicates. Union will exclude the duplicates. Like for example, if you say this particular command 101 Alice 150,000 1 and HR, is it the same data which is printing in the first? Okay, so 101, 102, 103 and 104, right? 101, 102, 103 and 104. These are the 4 records. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 records which are already printed, right? So in the left join, I can already able to print the data. Then why to print the same data again from the right join? Right, it's not required for me. So what is the data which is left over? That is the only data which I can able to, I want it from the right join over here, right? So 1 and 2 we can able to print. What is the leftover data from this departments table? 3 and 4. That is what the data it is printing, right? So what mainly you can understand here between this union and union all is, union all will include the duplicates. So even if there is any record which is again it is able to print, means it will include it. Okay, but union, it will exclude those duplicates. See this 101, 102, 103 and 104, those records it's not printing again. What is the data it is printing? Only the data which it can able to print, which is not a duplicate data over here. This is how union and union all will work is. So, and this particular unions, they will work on any other commands. Okay, it's not just only on the joins over there, any other normal select commands also unions will work. And only the main thing, you need to be more cautious whenever you're using the unions or union all over here is the column count. Okay, so the count of the columns what you are specifying over there, you need to properly check with that column count over there. Why? Because in one particular command, so as I mentioned over there, 2 different commands we are combining by using this union and union all. In one command, if you are printing 2 columns over there, in another command, if you are printing only 1 column, then in that particular position, union will get confused. Okay, it cannot understand what is the data it should print for the second column in second command, right? So that is where that is the one important thing you need to understand here when you are using this union or union all is, the column count between both the commands should be the same. Data can be anything. Okay, so data can be anything between both the tables over there, but the column count between both the tables should be the same matching when you are using union or union always. Okay, so this is all about this joins and unions. So joins are mainly used to perform or to combine the data between different tables, and when you are performing these joins, there is no limit in joining the tables, guys. Only the thing what you need to cross check over there is there any common column or is there any common data between both the tables. Okay, common column condition you need to mainly cross check. When it is fine, how many tables you want, as many tables as you can join in within using this joins. Okay, so this is about joins and unions, guys. Alright, now we have come to the end of our SQL learning series, and I hope this was insightful. And if you have any questions or doubts related to this, we have created a Discord community where we can help you clear all your queries. If you want to upskill in SQL further, consider our DevOps course. We have attached the link in the description. Till then, keep learning and keep growing.